Hello everyone, welcome to Digital Recharge. I'm here with Austin Randall, who is the head of the paid media department. Austin, thanks for joining us. This is like your fifth time joining me, which is great.
Always a pleasure, feels like the first.
Glad you keep coming back, man. Cool, so today we're talking about the holiday season. This is a pretty critical time in the world of digital marketing. This is a pretty critical time in the world of digital marketing, especially if your brand is e-commerce centric. This is a good time for you to be listening to some strategies that we have for you going forward. Austin, this is not your first rodeo in terms of holiday season in a digital landscape perspective. So could you maybe tell us a couple tips and tricks on what to do to get yourself in full gear and ready for the holidays?
Yeah, absolutely. Seventh rodeo to be exact. And the first tip that I have for you guys is really, it starts with your audience. So you really want to invest more into building your marketing audiences for the weeks leading up to a big sale. The point here is that if you have a good base of qualified site visitors that are already familiar with your brand, have already perused your site a bit, then you want to hit those audiences as hard as possible during the actual sale. So you can utilize audiences in a couple ways. The first is through display remarketing, and the second would be through remarketing lists for search ads. So you're going to get the most qualified traffic possible from those audiences and those people that are already familiar with your brand and service.
Absolutely, yeah. RLSA is going to be critical. It always performs well, but especially during this time of the year, it's doubly critical, as Austin's kind of alluding to here, just because there's that extra motivation and incentive and familiarity with your brand. So pushing a promotion onto those people that they might not have already been aware of is probably going to insinuate them to buy a little bit more so than before. So that's all well and good. So Austin, talk to me now about some messaging that we can apply. I know there are some new and exciting ad extensions that we can use out there. What are those?
Yep, so that would be promotion extensions. They are part of the new AdWords interface. Kind of one of Google's moves to get you more familiarized with the new interface before the old one is phased out. They're offering some new features through that. So what promotion extensions do is they're another way to advertise a promotion that you're running without necessarily utilizing all of your normal characters within your ad copy to do so. It shows up a nice little price tag graphic in your ad, and it'll actually be descriptive of the ad. You can send that traffic from people clicking on that link to a separate separate part of your site if you have a specific page talking to the promo. Yeah. So we've tested that out, and I think that it really this kind of phases into point 3. You definitely want to run promotion specific ad copy, but we would actually recommend not making all of your ad copy promotion specific. So what we found is a good balance is either running 2 promotion ads where your sale is called out in the headlines of your ads. Either run 2 of those alongside 2 evergreen ads, or make that mix, 2 promotional ads and 1 evergreen ad. The point here is that contrary to what you might think, sometimes having promotional ad copy actually lowers your click-through rate, and your ad is assigned a lower quality score because it's not as relevant to the keywords that you're pushing to that ad copy. So we recommend keeping 1 or 2 evergreens in the rotation to ensure that you get as much traffic to the site as you want to get during the promo, and also to keep your overall quality scores high for the account.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And to really kind of drive that point home, I think something that you can do to make the most out of that sale is having that promo on the ad copy is all well and good, and to Austin's point, you definitely should be incorporating that into your extensions and messaging, but also having that on the website itself. So when you click through the ad, just having that assurance to the user that there is in fact a promo happening and they can in fact apply the code on the ad or what have you to take advantage of that sale is going to be critical. Awesome, thank you for that, Austin. So next point, metrics go all over the place from an e-commerce landscape in terms of AdWords, Bing, things like that during the holiday seasons. What can we expect from maybe a cost per click perspective?
So the ad auction is naturally going to become more competitive during times of well-known dates of the year that businesses usually run sales. So speaking particularly about Black Friday and Cyber Monday, since they're coming up soon, I would expect your CPCs to increase because basically everybody's increasing their CPCs and the landscape's becoming more competitive. So you definitely want to prepare for that. We would recommend setting up automated rules. Identifying what are your top performing keywords, what are keywords that have converted, and what are keywords that maybe haven't converted but have the potential to convert, and then apply bid adjustment, apply a rule that's going to automatically increase those bids when your sale starts, which is typically midnight on the night of. You can just set that rule up and it'll switch them automatically for you, and you don't have to worry about that when you get in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great tactic. That's something we definitely deploy as much as possible during this time of year. Just saves us a lot of headache and a lot of worry. So we advise you all to use that as well. Awesome. So another point that I think we both wanted to kind of touch on, and Austin, I think you can expand on this a little bit more, is budgeting is going to be critical. A lot of e-commerce businesses will spend a large majority of their yearly budget, when you look at it from a flight perspective, during these critical times of the year, i.e. Q4. So anything you can speak to on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as budget deployment goes, it's equally important to reserve budget for the weeks leading up to a sale as it is to reserve budget for the sale itself, obviously.
Sure, right.
The last thing you want is, for the demand to exceed the budget that you have to spend. So a few key dates to keep in mind. Obviously, any date that you're running your promotion, but Cyber Monday, so the Monday after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, the Friday right after Thanksgiving, and then actually the couple days after Christmas are another big time of increased online activity for e-commerce that some advertisers don't really consider. So yeah, keeping those dates in mind, really critical to run your sale.
Absolutely, and a little bit more context behind why those days following Christmas are so important. That's essentially the time of year when companies are trying to get rid of stock, right? They're trying to make room for 2018 inventory. That 2017 inventory, if they can get rid of it, great. If not, it just kind of goes to waste. So that's when you're going to see some really colossal sales go online from an advertiser perspective. So keep that in mind going forward. And then last point here, we do now operate in an omni-channel environment. How important is it to make sure that all your channels are aligned to generate a succinct message?
Yeah, definitely another important point there. Make sure that your brand messaging is aligned across all your channels, so it's a very fluid experience for your visitors. With that being said, definitely get together with, if you're running paid ads yourself, get together with your email marketing manager, get together with anybody running traditional media, get together with your developer, just to make sure that all your messages align. And basically when a visitor gets to your site, they know what the promotion is. They're not surprised at all. They know what to expect and are ready to buy.
Yeah, and that's a golden tip just to really jack up those conversion rates. Well, awesome. Austin Randall, for my money, one of the best in the biz. He wrote an excellent blog on this topic, so you can definitely find that on our blog if you're so inclined. And if you do want to continue this conversation further with either myself or Austin or anyone at Power Digital, please contact us. We're at contact@powerdigitalmarketing.com. Thanks, Austin.